Going live. We're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Teacher Casey, and I am here with Michelle. Hey, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
Very good. So today we're going to talk about Tutorgigs, and I'm super excited because I haven't heard of this platform before. And checking the chat, I see Kelly is here and Rebecca, first and second. No teacher, no shows for you guys. You beat us this morning. So. So how are you doing today?
I'm good. I taught my Q Kids classes and now I'm doing this and then I have a class afterwards. So busy.
So you're still busy with all of the recent changes to the ESL world, huh?
It hasn't affected me at all. I work for Q Kids and we are still going and have been.
So I know this isn't a Q Kids video, but I do.
It's not.
Are they based in China as well?
They are, but
okay.
I have no idea. It's just
right.
The classes show up. I have my kids. I'm happy.
So. Right. Are they still hiring?
No.
Okay. I was going to tell them to make sure to contact you if they were.
No, they are not.
All right. So yeah, let's talk about what we're here to talk about today, Tutorgigs. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I go by Teacher Michelle, basically. I've been a journalist for about 30 years. And so I was writing for newspapers and doing all that. And I needed something extra. So a friend of mine was doing VIP Kids. So I applied for that, didn't work out. So then I found Q Kids and that worked out great. So I started teaching Q Kids, and I'm married to a firefighter. So he worked every third day. So he's gone for 24 hours. So I need to be home, and I've been home working from home for, 30 years. So I just needed something else to do. So that's why I started teaching online.
Very good. So you said, that was your why. That's awesome. So you have kids, and was it easy for you to transition to online teaching?
Very, because they'd go to school, or I would just get up, and they were older, they're teenagers. So one's in college and one's in 11th grade. So, whether at school, I would just do this and I would write my stories. And then when COVID hit, they stopped hiring stories. So I was like, well, I need more jobs. So I started looking for other opportunities in addition to Q Kids.
Nice. So can you tell us a little bit about Tutorgigs? I like the name of it. It just sounds kind of fun to say.
Well, the cool thing is it is what it is. It's tutor gig. So like gig is a job. So basically you go on. Tutorgigs is an online platform that allows teachers, former teachers, college, university students to work from home and create your own schedule. So you basically you apply for the job, then you do like an online interview, and then you go through all the steps. And then basically when you get the job, you go onto the platform and you just look at all the jobs that are there and you pick and choose you want to teach. And you have to qualify for, like I do ELA, and yesterday I qualified for science and history. So it's like you can qualify, you take a little test, and if you pass the test, you can tutor, and that's that. So you literally go in there and you just pick which job that you are interested in. And you can even look at the lesson beforehand. And if it's something above your head and you don't want to do it, and you don't, you just say, no, thank you. And you just don't do that one. So you just go through them. And right now there's only like 23 jobs listed on there. So it's, but they are going to, I'm booked through like almost to the end of May. So they're going to start putting on more jobs, and then you just pick them up, and then you just make them work in your schedule. So it's very easy, because when the time for your job is, they are in Texas. So they are CST. So I'm an EST. So if I pick up a 1:30 job, my job would be at 2:30. So you just log in and you load your lesson, and you just wait, and hopefully somebody will show up. And if they do, they most likely, because they're teenagers in high school, will not turn on their camera or their mic. So that's fun. But you just you chat, give me the answer to this question, or read this passage, and then tell me what context clues can you use to find out the meaning of this word, or that type of thing. So it's been really easy. I mean, and the cool thing is you get paid $20 no matter how long the class is. So the other day I had a 10-minute class where I had to explain to them how to do their assessment. So 10 minutes. And then I found there was another one at like 10 minutes later. So I'll sign up for that one. So I made $40 in 20 minutes.
Wow.
I was like, right. And you get paid once a week. So every Friday they deposit it right into your checking account. So
excellent.
It's like ridiculously easy. And I just needed something. Most of my classes are usually, I do at like 9 or like 1:30 because it depends on what time, because I think they try to do them at the beginning of school and end of school. So,
right.
Because they're in school.
Yeah. Yes. I did read that on the website.
Yes, there's so much information on the website.
Yeah, it's really set up well, and you can get a lot of information without signing up.
Exactly, which I loved because
I did too.
Yeah, you can tutor ELA, history, science, math. I do not do math at all. My children are math geniuses. Mom, no. So I don't even attempt those. But ELA, all over it. You know, as a journalist, and English, you know, has been my jam. So.
Ooh. English is not my jam.
Oh, really? Okay. No, I love
math,
it. So.
Give me science. I do like teaching English and reading to little kids though, because I never found that love of reading. So I feel like I'm a kindergarten teacher, Michelle. I don't know if you know that. But.
No, I didn't know that. Okay. Well, no, I like kindergartners and first graders. I'm teaching a kindergartner right now to read. I'm tutoring on in person. So I have like 5 jobs. So I like children that can already read, but need help with pronunciation, understanding what the words mean, and comprehension. So I haven't had any of those lessons so far, but on Tutorgigs. But I do that for other companies. So
right. So you mentioned they were high school students, but don't they start even younger on that website?
It says it, but I've only seen 6 to like 12 right now.
Oh, okay.
And over the summer, a lot of schools have, because a lot of people are like, oh no, is there going to be summer? But a lot of the schools have expressed interest in having tutoring over the summer. So our company, Tutorgigs, is working with them to make that happen. So we will have kids in there that will come in probably during summer school to get tutored. And you're obviously, if they're doing tutoring, they need some help with something. So, you know, so you are there to support. You're not really teaching, you're kind of giving them support and explaining like what context clues or the author's perspective, like why they're writing an article, those kind of things.
Right.
That's the ones I do. I haven't done a science or history yet. I just signed up yesterday for those. I'm not real keen on those either, but it's like math, but literally you just follow the lesson. So that's
what I was going to ask you. So the lessons,
easy.
Yeah, they're provided for you, all the lessons.
You download it when you choose the job. First, you can look at the lesson, then you can download the lesson. Then before you go on to do the job, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes before, you go in and you load the lesson. So it's there on the screen. And basically you just go through the lesson and I read it to them, especially if their mics or cameras aren't on. And I, ask them questions and then they put it in the chat with the answers. And then after the class, you have to do a, I don't know, like 2-minute interview thing that you fill out, just saying, were there any problems? Did the kids participate? Was the lesson easy to understand? Those kind of things. And then you just put through your payment and then you have a list of all the payments and what's coming. And then like right now I have like 8 jobs that I'll be paid for on Friday. So nice. I know I'm like loving it. And as soon as they say we're loading jobs, you need to get on there because the ELA ones go really fast. You don't need to worry about that, but unless you want to do them. But
unless they have younger kids for you, then I'm on board.
But the kids are, they're young, they're kids. So.
Right. You said it's located in Texas? The schools are, or Tutorgigs?
I believe the schools are, and the company, because they're all in CST. So however they do it, you don't really ask the kids where they're from. Like we're not supposed to do that or have any personal information. And you really don't get like the same students all the time ever, hardly. Yeah. So you're always with a new person and they usually have names that are like this long. So the good thing to do before you take the class, before you do the class, is write down, you can click on like at the top of the listing, who's going to be in the class. You can click on it and it'll give you a list of all the kids that are supposed to be there. So I write those down, because when you do your review, you need to say who was there and who wasn't. And you can't really go out and come back in and do it. So it's better to know who's coming. And
right. Oh, I would definitely have to do that.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to try out this platform or to work for Tutorgigs?
I was just looking for extra income. I work for Q Kids, Kid Pass, Tutorgigs, OutSchool, and then I tutor privately. And I also just got contacted by Book Nook. So I don't know. My husband changed his job. So now he works every day from like 7 to 4. So he's gone. My daughter's at school.
Right.
So I'm like, I might as well work as much as I can. And I love it. I love helping kids and doing things. And Tutorgigs was cool because I didn't have to like commit to anything. If I wanted to do a job on Thursday, I'll pick up a job on Thursday. If I don't, I don't. Right. So it's better than you like with Q Kids, you're like scheduled all the time. So you have to be there. And these, and you can cancel these. You shouldn't, but you can. I had to cancel one emergently because I was sick, which I've never had to do before, but it was bad. So they like, I think 48 hours. So you pick up the job and then, because it's best to go ahead and get them. And then if you can't do it, it's best to do about 48 hours. And you explain to them why, because they can kick you out and tell you can't tutor anymore if you continually can't. Right. So it's not like Q Kids or Kid Pass where we can just cancel, and nobody's really going to get on to us after so many. It's like they really would like you to give them notice. Yeah.
VIP Kid, we had to pay for it.
Oh yeah, we missed. Q Kids is so good. We don't have to do anything. I love that. I love Kid Pass. I love Q Kids. I love Tutorgigs. OutSchool, I'm still working on. But
So let us know if you have any questions or about Tutorgigs. Put it in the chat box, or if you're watching this replay, #team replay, I will send them to Michelle. Is that okay with you, Michelle? Maybe you can revisit this video and check for comments, or I'll send them to you. And
that's fine.
Yeah. Yes. Oftentimes we get off here and there's questions that I haven't thought of, and then they'll put it below. So we still have more though.
Yeah. Do you want me to answer one that you gave me or no?
I'm going to keep asking them.
You go ahead. Ask
I reach out into the chat box every now and then and talk. We have Kelly and Rebecca are here. So, and actually there's been a few more jumping on. Say hello. Let us know where you're from if you want to. And like I said, if you have questions, put them in the chat box. Okay, so I have my notes here. That's why I keep looking down.
I'm looking up at my answers. So
usually I put my notes like on my screen, but I ended up making them on my phone that day. So
that's fine. What do you want to know?
So is this fairly new company? Do you know?
I honestly don't know. I can't even tell you how I found it. I think it was on Indeed, maybe. I honestly, I really don't know. It's been about 4 months since I've been doing it. And I just found it and signed up and thought, oh, that's kind of cool. And I thought, and then as I got through it, it was simple, really easy to get the job. And you only have to talk to someone there like twice. And that's the first one is like, if you have questions in the middle of your application, and then at the end, you can do it again, meet with them. And basically this one, check your computer and make sure it's good and just talk to you, and you ask them questions, because there's not a lot of people over you telling you what to do. There's none of that basically. So if you have a question, there is a number you can text, and there's an email that you can email support@Tutorgigs, and they answer, the next day or usually. So, you do training after, you sign up, and then once you get hired, then there's like training, but it's your time. You do it when you feel like it. You read, you watch videos, just to know how to pick the jobs, or how to claim the jobs is what it's called. Claim tutor jobs.
Claiming. Good. Hi, Lily and Lucy do stuff. Excellent. She wants to know, or they want to know, is it easy to apply? So I guess you kind of mentioned that.
It is. I basically just did the online interview thing, and then you just tell them who you are, and if you have experience, that helps. And I do have a bachelor's degree. You do not need a teaching certificate. I know that. So, and you also, one thing about applying, they wanted you to get fingerprinted. Now, where I live in Florida, they're like, all the local places are not doing it because of COVID, and they're not doing it. So I just choose the jobs that are non-fingerprint. And that's what he told me when I got hired. He's like, just go on there and take the jobs that are non-fingerprint. I'm like, okay. So I never bothered to get fingerprinted. You also need to do a background check, but I had just done one probably for KidPass. And so I had it. So they were like, it's been done within the last 6 months, just send it on. Boom, did it, done. So you just answer the questions, you tell them what you want to do, why you want to do it. And it's very simple. And so that's all, you just have to upload what it's like very easy. I can't even explain it because I'm not looking at it, but it's like, they ask you for this, you do this, you ask for this. And I mean, it was, I got hired in like, I mean, I was ready to take the job, like, I think the next day or the next day. I mean, it was like maybe 2 days and I could start claiming jobs. So I did.
So there's no demo you have to make or a video that you have to put together?
Yes, there is one thing that they want you to do, and it's kind of silly for me, especially a math lesson on how to times 8 times 8 to get 64. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, just, 8 plus 8 plus 8. I mean, I was like stupid, really. It was not a great thing, but they took it because I guess I have energy. I don't know. But yeah, so they want you to teach, it's actually a math lesson, whether you're signing up for math or not. And it's just one little lesson on 8 plus 8, or how to get to 64. And since I don't teach math, and I do not love it, I just did the best I could.
That's great. So how many teachers and students about are on this platform? Do you know?
I honestly don't know. They don't tell you that.
Yeah.
But all I can say is when you get hired and they send you a text and say, hey, we're putting jobs up, get in there and get some. Because I'm kind of like, oh, I guess I should check Tutorgigs today, see if there's anything. I'm like, whatever, and the other day there were 600 and something classes available. Today there's 23. So, I mean, yes, they go fairly quickly. So as soon as you get a text saying, hey, there's a classes available, then get on there and do that. Because you want to make sure that you claim them. And always remember the time difference so that you don't mess yourself up with other jobs or whatever, because,
Yeah, that's not good. No. So what about the pay and schedules? You mentioned the pay already, but maybe you can, I know some of them are new, just jumping on, maybe you can let us know really.
$20 no matter how long the class is. If it's a 10-minute class, a 45-minute class, a 60-minute class, doesn't matter. So I always try to look for like the 30-minute classes because I'm like, okay, whatever I can do that's short or easy and that I understand the lesson, because I don't want to look uneducated about certain topics, and some of the ELA are pretty high, like for 11th graders, like author's purpose and context clues and but I enjoy that so much. So I'm okay with that. But basically that, and then the fingerprint, you will get reimbursed. No. Well, yeah, they'll reimburse you for the fingerprint and they'll reimburse you for the background check if you don't already have those. So, and they tell you about that. So, but I never got fingerprinted. I'm fine. I get plenty of jobs.
Yeah.
So, and then some of them, they even went bilingual certified. So if you're bilingual certified, you can have more of the ELA jobs because some of them are bilingual. So it's a requirement for that job.
Yeah. And what are the hours? Because it is kids in Central Time, right?
Yeah. So like 9 to 3, basically, that's the availability. So some of them, their time 1:30, which would be my time 2:30, or 7:55, which is 8 o'clock, but I don't get done my teaching till 9. So I kind of log into their thing and jump off of my platform and go to their platform and do the class.
Right.
So like from 9 to 3 EST, I would say, 8 to 2 Central Time is basically, and it's not really, it's just, that's the listing of the jobs. That's the times that they're listed. So it's just so different because it's so unique that it's not like you're not assigned anything ever. You go in and you pick what you want, when you and what you want.
Right. I do like that.
I love it. I'm like super happy because it was nice to add, to my other 4 jobs.
Right? Who doesn't need another job?
Oh. And I go to yoga every day. So well, not today, but obviously. But yeah, it's it's good because it's flexible, and if you have off on Friday, go in there and claim a whole bunch of jobs. Boom.
Nice. So what are the requirements for teaching?
Basically, I'm not sure if you have to have a bachelor's degree, but you may not, because they
that on there.
Well, they said that they were going through like they said that people in school, in college could do it. So
Mm.
I'm not sure if that's totally a requirement or not. So basically you have to have experience, and you have to be able to get through their platform, and, experience teaching online. That's like obviously a big one. So anyone who's taught for VIP, Q Kids, Kid Pass, OutSchool, whatever, as long as you have experience on a camera teaching or in a classroom, I suppose. Then I mean, that would work.
Sorry, guys. I have a new puppy. Oh, man.
Is it like really big? Because it sounds really big.
she's fairly young, but she thinks she's big.
Oh, okay.
She's super sweet, but she's very skittish. So any noise, like she's fine now. She just had to go see what the noise was that's outside. But
yeah, I'm a cat person. You can tell.
Yeah.
I wear cat ears all the time. That's my thing. And the kids are always like, they get in there and they're like, and they're like, I know teenagers are not as much fun as I like 8 to 10-year-olds, or like 8 to 11 are my sweet spot. Cause but I don't have any of those on Tutorgigs, unfortunately, so far, but summer's coming and there may be more. And then in the fall, and what they do is they partner with low income schools and low income. And so they're like giving support for these schools that their students need help with, like they're struggling, in whatever, math or English or history or science. And they also have an ESL thing on there, but I haven't seen any classes for that yet. And I didn't have to do anything to qualify for it. So you do have to take a test for each subject that you want to tutor. So when ESL becomes available, there's not even a place to qualify for it yet. So, they might be fairly new. They don't really give all that information on their website. And as I said, you don't really talk to anybody too much.
Yeah.
So
I could see that being a need in Texas to have some ESL classes and things and tutoring there.
Right.
All right. So how can someone get started?
Well, you would click on my link if you're I did you put it up or no? Because I have there's a link. Are we frozen? You were frozen?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure who. Mine still says excellent.
Mine's
conditions, or connection, but mine's unstable now. All right. Could you just tell us that again on how someone could get started?
Yes. Well, you would click on my link, which I don't know how, can you drop that in the chat?
It's already down in the description
box. Yeah, just click on the link and then just sign up, and you just put in your information and then go from there, and you just follow the steps. It's basically you have to do the mock class on the math, which was literally like short and easy-ish. And then you have to submit whatever information they ask you for. So it's just like applying for any online job. You just go through the steps of what they want. And then you have the little interviews in between, which basically is just a Zoom call. You just have a chat with them. And if you have any questions, you ask them, and then you keep going, and then you put in your payment information, very important. And then after every class, you just click, submit payment or submit, and then it goes onto your log. And then on Fridays, boom, you get paid.
And I think I saw it's ACH transfer. So your bank, or can you choose like PayPal or anything, or just bank?
I don't believe so. I just did my bank. I didn't see that there was an option. I like bank. I would put it right in my bank account. Because that way I can go shopping. So yeah, that's about it. And just, you have to submit your background check and fingerprints if you do them. And they were not real clear on the fingerprints. Like there are some places locally that'll do them digitally. And then I asked, well, can I submit them if I do it digitally? And they were like, well, go to the company that we're doing fingerprints through, which does not have any offices in Jacksonville, where I live. So I'm like, you may find one in Panama City, but maybe not. I don't know. So it's like the locations that this company that they use for fingerprinting is not local to me. So I would have to drive like 3 hours to get fingerprinted. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So it's up to you on how much you want to work and how you can figure out how to get them your fingerprints.
Yeah, I think I saw it say you can work up to 40 hours a week with them. So
sure, you can do whatever you want. You claim as many jobs as you want, as long as they don't overlap. Some will start at like 1:30, some will start at like 2:45. So if it's a 50-minute class, you can't do that other one because they're going to overlap. So you just have to you do you know, whatever you need and whatever you can do.
Right. So the link below is an affiliate link for you, right?
It
You would
is.
be their mentor teacher.
No, well, I guess. I mean, yes. I mean, I've had people ask me questions.
Yeah.
So far, everyone's just kind of like asked me a couple questions and then just did it. And one lady just got hired like 3 days ago, did her class already. And then another one messaged me and said, my class was terrible, which mainly that means probably the kids didn't turn on their camera, because that makes a lot of people mad. I'm kind of over it, you know, because with them, it's like, I don't really need it. I'm going to get paid anyway. So it's okay. You know, and I'm going to do the lesson. And if they hear me and they want to participate, great. If they don't, I tell their teacher, and I tell them I'm going to tell their teacher. So if they're not answering me, I'm like, you know, I have to do a review after this class. So if I were you, I would answer. You don't play with me. You know, I want them to, they're there for a reason. You know, if you're going to show up, do something. Yeah.
Right.
So,
yeah, I think that's interesting. I do know a lot of teachers that would get annoyed, especially if they're just starting out in the online world, kind of new to all of this. It's kind of like, but I'm supposed to be seeing them and hearing them, and you know.
it would be nice. And I ask them to, I say, can you please turn on your camera and please turn on your mic? And if they don't, I put it in the review that they didn't, and that's on them. And it's like, as long as they're participating in the chat, I do the best I can, you know, and a lot of it is they need to read something, and then they need to like maybe write something and read it to me. So if they're not going to do that, then it's not much I can do. This one is a lot less. I'm a lot less invested. I want them to do well, but they have to give their part, you know, where with other teaching jobs, you're getting like reviewed by parents and people, and but here you're not. You're just doing what you can to help. And if they don't want to participate, that's on them. So don't get offended if they don't turn on the camera or their mic. They're teenagers. They're going to do what they want to do.
And they do have a teacher on the other side. A
somewhere in the classroom, I've never seen
classroom management.
Never seen them. Never laid eyes on them. There is an intervene host that pops in the meeting, and I think that's just like the teacher host. But every now and again, she'll say something like, but she'll say like, have them do this link or click this link after. And then all the kids logged out before I could give it to them. So I just put it in the review that, hey, they're supposed to do this, whatever. So, but I mean, you just do the best you can. And if there's no kids in the class, which is like, you know, on any of your other platforms, you know, that's called a no-show.
It happens,
but not for us. We have to stay. And basically you just go through the lesson, and I kind of like answer the questions myself, and I'm goofy and I just do whatever. And then when I'm done, which literally if it's a 50-minute class and nobody's there and you have 37 slides, you get it through in like 15-20 minutes. And then I just turn off my camera and I just sit there and wait. And if somebody shows up, I'll try and touch on the important parts, but then otherwise I'm like, I'm done. You know, I'm just sitting here, and you have to stay until the clock runs out. So, and you need to hit record. That's another thing they didn't tell us right away, but there's like a book, like an email book that they'll send you that has like all it's not long. It's just a little, kind of like guidelines as to what they expect. So once you get in the classroom, they have to hit the little record button. It doesn't do it automatically. And so that helps. And then you just turn off your camera and turn off your mic and just sit there and wait until somebody shows up, or when you do the lesson first, you start the lesson at the beginning. And then when you're done, you can just sit there and wait, you know, and then
drink your coffee.
And if anybody pops in, then you know, then you say, oh, hey, you're a little late, but let's go and look at context clues or author's purpose or whatever. Because I've taught like, I don't know, 30 classes so far in the last 3 months. And so, you know, you can like start storing them on your computer. So then when you go in, it's already there and you just pop it up and go in. So you download them and then just load them to their platform. But everything's explained. They're very good. Once you get the job, everything is explained. And if you have any questions, you can email support@tutorgigs.something.
It's different.
It is. It's like an IO something.
IO, I was looking at that too. I'm like, is this the right site? Excellent. Well, is there anything else you want to tell us before we sign off here today? Anything else we need to know?
I don't think so. I'm trying to make sure I went through all companies or all the things. Yeah, it's basically just you're helping K through 12, but mainly I've seen only 6 through 12 so far.
Yeah.
Could be because we're like near the end of the year. So a lot of them are doing assessments and things like that. So you can get like 10-minute jobs for $20. That's not bad. And they did tell me, like, when I signed up for the referral thing, which literally you get $3 for a referral, which is not much.
Oh, okay.
But they said we need thousands of tutors, so there's no limit to the number of tutors you can refer. So I put it on my Q Kids page, but on my regular page, I'm talking to you. So, I mean, I don't mind helping people, but I mean, it's definitely not a referral way to make money, but it's it's something I think it's valid because they do have like 600 jobs sometimes. So they need, tutors to sign up. And if you like helping people and, do it.
Nice. So Lily and Lucy, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
They said, I don't know if it's Lily or Lucy or who I'm speaking to, but they said, thank you. Great info. Glad we can help. There are lots of different platforms on this channel. If you have questions with any of them, feel free to message me or message the person that's on each video. So in this case, we have Michelle here. You can use her link to get started. And don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button for me. And that's it. We'll see you on next time.
Well, thank you for having me.